Welcome once again to the 365 Retirement Podcast with Sam Liang and the team at Rubino & Liang Wealth Partners. My name is Randy Cook. Each week, Sam and I sit down, or I sit down with one of the team at Rubino & Liang, and we talk through some of the topics like 401ks and pensions and Social Security and all the different things that we need to know about in retirement that we're going to dive into head first. And sometimes it's a little bit scary.
Head first, huh? Head first.
Yeah. That's okay. Why we need you, Sam. It's good to have you here again.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here, sort of talking it out and taking the mystery out of retirement planning, because I think it's such a, kind of a scary thing, right? To think about, hey, I'm going to leave my job and I'm going to leave the comfort of knowing I'm going to get a paycheck, and did I save enough money? What do I do next? So, yeah, lots to talk about, and glad to be here.
Well, you guys have your own kind of language. I mean, you got to almost have a book to figure all this stuff out. That's why we need you RMDs, and I'm still trying to figure out what an inverted yield curve is. One of these days, you and I will have a drink, and we'll figure that out. But
sure.
I actually came across this article in Motley Fool about being in retirement, and it used a term, lifestyle inflation. Now, I know what inflation is, but what is lifestyle inflation? Talk to me about what this is.
Well, let me sort of, maybe from my point of view, lifestyle inflation is that pesky thing. When you make more, you tend to spend more.
Okay.
I think we all do it. Do it. It doesn't matter if you make $50,000 a year or $2 million a year. You get a raise, you get a bonus. All right, let's go get that new car.
Vacation.
Yeah. I think it's important to, obviously reward yourself. If you're getting a pay raise, that means you're doing a good job. So reward yourself. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe, 5 years from retirement, that's really, if you think about it, that's your peak earning years. Mm-hmm. You probably pay down most of your debt. Like me, I'm in my 50s. My kids are out of the house now. Mm-hmm. That dirty word college tuition, that's gone. So maybe your expenses are a little bit lower. Yeah. So if there's a way during those really important, last years, one strategy to consider is if you're going to get a bonus, get a raise, maybe you had a really nice year in your portfolio and you made a lot of gains, don't spend it. Don't increase, don't buy another car or join another country club. Save that money, because the power of compounding interest only works when the money's left in the savings account.
Yeah, so somebody told me one time that I'm a 1%er. I said, well, I'm starting my 401k. What should I do? He said, just put 1% in there. You'll never even know it. And then next year,
100%
put another 1% in there. And so whenever I would get a raise, I'd put another % in. And,
Good for you.
Pretty soon you're up to 13, 14%. You go,
was that really smart person me? Did I tell you to do that?
It wasn't you. We didn't know each other 30 years ago.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But in any event, yeah, I think that when you get a raise, you put a little extra into the 401k and get yourself ready for retirement. And I think that that really is a wise thing to do.
Absolutely. I think savings, if you do it right, it's addicting. If you see your account going up. Wow, I made that much money in the last month. Well, let me put a little bit more in there. So I think it's a great way. And I love that term. Lifestyle inflation, that just means you're spending more, so cut it out, right? And if you can save some of that money towards your retirement, and we think about that, right? Retirement is not like a couple of years. It could be 20 years, 25, 30 years. How many times do we talk to people that are saving towards a vacation, right? I went to Italy last year. I can't wait to go back. Last year I went for a week. Next year I'm going to go for 2 weeks. I'm going to start saving now. Well, they save for something that's going to last 2 weeks. Your retirement's going to last a lot longer.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you're doing all the right things and get rid of that lifestyle inflation term. It's not to say you shouldn't enjoy life, but don't spend the same amount that you're getting more in pay. If you're making 10% more, well, spend 2%, save the other 8%. So.
You and I have talked in the past about the idea of having confidence to spend in retirement, which is what we all really are going for. And if you do the work before retirement, it does give you the permission and confidence to spend in retirement, because you've made the sacrifices early. Now's the time to enjoy. So we don't want you to cut back in retirement. We want you to get ready for retirement and enjoy your retirement.
We actually built a proprietary retirement planning worksheet. It's web-based. You can go on, and essentially what we look to do is to figure out what we call, what is your PIN, P-I-N, and that stands for Portfolio Income Needs. And you can plug in your age, plug in how much you have, how much you're saving now, maybe you get 5 more years to work. Let's say you think you're going to live 30 more years in retirement. We can precisely, down to the dollar, tell you how much you need to have saved in order to take out X amount of dollars on a given month. And a lot of times people take comfort in knowing that they're not that far off, you know? So if you know those things, then yeah, maybe you get a raise, maybe you do, it is okay to spend a little bit more. But the flip side is that maybe that PIN number that you're looking to do and what you've done is not quite there yet. And you need to sort of put it into a little bit more of a, you know, the 5th gear or turbocharge it to make sure that if you are getting a raise in these last few years before you stop working, save the money, invest it properly. You know, so that's really where we can bring some added value to people's situation. And you know, there's that word finance, retirement, investments, that's a broad term. We do one thing and we do it very well, which is help people plan for retirement. So we know what you need to look out for, and we know what you need to change and do correctly. So we'd love to give you some input on your particular situation.
And you really kind of come up with a system there to answer the biggest question in retirement, because year after year after year, we see that retirees they don't want to run out of money. So they want to know, how much do I need to save? How much do I need? Do I need 1.2 million? Can I do it on 750,000? Do I need $2 million? All these people in the news, they tell me I need these exorbitant numbers, but you really don't know until you actually sit down, have a conversation, do some math, and then you figure it out, don't you?
It always makes me chuckle when I read certain things, and some survey says you need $2.4 million to retire comfortably. Well, it says who, you know?
Yeah.
It depends on if you live in New York City or you live in the Midwest. Maybe the lifestyle, cost of living is substantially different. I think knowing, and instead of thinking the big number, and if you think you're going to be in retirement for 30 years, you break into 30 little chunks. That's the way to think about it. And we can really help you, you know, dot the I's, cross the T's when it comes to doing that. And it just really just common sense, talk it through, give you some good solutions that's easy to implement, and, you know, have a plan. This is what we set out to do, that you can review each and every year to make sure you are still on track.
There are a lot of big questions about retirement, and that might be one of them for you. Is how much do I need? Have I saved enough?
Yeah.
And what does that mean for me per month? I know what I get per month now.
Right.
What do I get per month in retirement? What is Social Security? What is that going to mean? Are there going to be taxes? There's
Should I
so
take
many
Social
things.
Security? Should I take it at 62? Wait till full retirement age, or defer it till 70? I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to, the world we live in today and how you figure out how to retire comfortably is a lot different than it was 20, 30 years ago. So sometimes people go at it alone. Sometimes they're successful. Sometimes they're not. What we do each and every day is to help people retire with confidence. And, you know, there are certain things you need to really, everybody needs to do. And then depending on your situation, maybe you need to do these 2 other things. And that's really where we can really bring some added value. So on that note, we'd love to have the opportunity to have a 15-minute conversation with you to see if the shoe fits, as they say, where you can ask all of your questions, where we can say, hey, you know, this is our area expertise, and I think we have a pretty good match here. And if that's the case, we'll give you a complimentary meeting. If it's not the case, at least we answer some of your questions.
365retirement.com is our website, 365retirement.com. When you go there, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, it says Start Here. You click on that, and then a video will come up of Sam and say, here's what you're in for. This is our process. And it really starts with that phone call, a 10, 15-minute introductory call where we just kind of see, can we help? Well, tell me about you. Tell me about what you want to do. Tell me, do you want to retire in Massachusetts? Do you want to retire in Florida? Are you a snowbird? You're going to go back and forth? What are you going to do? It all depends upon what your hopes and dreams are and what you've done for retirement. Let's put the two together, do a little math on your retirement, and get it figured out for you. Then if we figure, hey, I think we can help you here, then we'll sit down together and go through the process at Rubino and Lang Wealth Partners. Again, it's 365retirement.com, 365retirement.com. And then hit start here, and you'll be on your way. Sam, thanks so much once again for the info.
Always great being here.
All right. We hope to see you next time here on the 365 Retirement Podcast.
Have a great day.